Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to bringing the Division video. What I've got today is this week's City Game synopsis. If you are interested in the full live stream, I will also have a link in the description. You guys can check it out. But if you are here for the recap, you are in the right spot. So if you guys do enjoy the video or find it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for my videos, and let's get right into this. Alright, so the first thing I was talked about was the known issues in the game right now. This is pretty much the entire list that they talked about. We have like sound issues, some gear sets, talents not working properly. Also, like the season levels should also be increasing the dark zone, which are currently not. So these are pretty much the known issues that will be fixed in the future. As of right now, we have no specific date when this is coming out, but I'm sure with the next maintenance for the game, these issues will be addressed. Anyway, the first main topic they talked about on the steady game was the season manhunt. So pretty much what they said was, if you change your global difficulty after Neptune, it will reset the manhunt progress. This is just a bug. It is a visual UI bug. It doesn't actually block or reset Neptune. It doesn't block the progress for Jupiter. Once again, if this happens to you, if you did change your difficulties, it is just visual. So you don't have to go back. You don't have to replay all the missions and, do all the activities. It is, again, just a visual bug. Also, they said resetting the manhunt progress when changing directives was not intended. This, once again, is a bug going around. Also, the directives reset when you fast travel or go to a friend's world. This is not intended to happen. It is a bug going around in the game, and it will be fixed in the near future. And they also said, and this is the final thing they said about the manhunt, is that they want to have a UI for explicitly resetting the manhunt in the game. So there's no confusion, there's no kind of questions about it in the near future. They want to have a UI for that, so people can do it and just know what they're doing with that addition. But anyway, this is everything for kind of the season manhunt topic that they talked about. The next thing that was mentioned was actually the league that's coming out in the future. So the league is actually coming next week. This will feature some pretty cool activities. It will pretty much involve activities related to the Neptune manhunt. It will also add a speedrun kind of challenge for missions. So if you do a mission, let's say in a certain speed, it will give you rewards at the end for completing it at this time. Obviously, the faster you do the mission, the better rewards, kind of bonus rewards you'll be getting at the end, depending on what your time is. It's not going to change anything like actually in the mission, like your RNG drops or anything like that, but just overall, it is going to be a kind of feature that's going to be added if you want to participate in it, and if you want to go for a speedrun kind of challenge, it will be available for missions. Also, the rewards include patches, trophies, and exotic caches. Those are going to be the rewards from the league. The league will last for about 2 weeks, so 2-week period for the league. It's not like the global event where it's only going to be a week or something like that. This will actually take a little bit longer. And they also said after the season is over, the exotic mask that's actually available in the season kind of pass, it will be added to the normal loot pool. So even if you don't complete the season pass, if you don't get the exotic mask, and by the way, this is what it looks like in case you didn't know, if you don't get this mask from the season, it will still be available later on once it's over from just loot pool. So you'll be able to farm some bosses or some missions and potentially get this as a drop. The final topic that was talked about in the city game was actually the TTK and just pretty much the difficulty of the NPCs in game right now. So the first thing that was mentioned was the TTK in the dark zone. They did say it is really, really quick, and it is not intended to be like this. It will be changed a little bit in the future, and I'm not really sure how many of you guys actually went in the dark zone and tested it out, but you do die really quickly, and just overall the TTK is very, very quick. So once again, it is not supposed to be like that, and it will be tweaked. Also, they did say that the low build diversity in the DZ is because of the low TTK. Again, pretty much the entire builds for the Dark Zone and even PvE now are just focused on damage and as much reds as possible on your build, like weapon damage, crit chance, critical hit damage, headshot damage. That's pretty much what the majority of the builds now are in the game. Obviously, you have some people running like healers or some utility builds, but the majority of them are damage. So that's pretty much the reasoning why they believe it's like this, is because of the low TTK. When it does get changed a little bit, hopefully the build diversity kind of balances out and more builds become viable in game. Now moving on for the PvE portion, so they did say that the PvE hard difficulty is where they want it to be. To me, it's honestly kind of perfect right now. It's not too easy, it's not too hard, and depending on your build, I don't know, I just feel like hard difficulty in general is in a pretty good state, and that's what they said as well. So you know, that's good to hear. But they did say that the challenging is a little bit overtuned, so they will tune down challenging difficulty a little bit, and I could agree with that. But obviously, if you have a, you know, really good build, if you are up there with a perfect build, challenging is even easier for you. And if it is, they did say they would recommend just going into heroic to actually challenge yourself, because you know, challenging is supposed to be for those players and those type of builds that are not perfect but are not trash either. So it's kind of like a balance in the middle. But overall, it will be tuned down a little bit in the future. Also, the scaling for 3 to 4 player groups, especially on elite and named enemies, is a little bit off, and they become a little bit too spongy in the game. And I agree with this 100%. If you guys did do like heroic missions, and if you are fighting the boss with a 3 or 4 man, you guys know that they are just very, very spongy. Unless you have a really good damage build and everyone's running a DPS build and a really good DPS build, yes, you can melt them. But if you're not, if you have a couple people with lower tier builds, a couple people just running kind of normal damage builds, it takes forever to kill them. So again, this issue will be addressed in the future. Heroic difficulty might get adjusted as well slightly in the future, and I mean like slightly, that's pretty much what they said. So we're not really sure if it's actually going to happen or if they're just going to keep heroic how it is right now. But overall, they did say that fixing these issues should open up the build diversity and have more builds once again viable for PvP and PvE, not just damage builds, not just high DPS builds, but something like tank builds and just hybrid builds or utility builds can become kind of useful and actually good to use for both PvE and PvP. The final thing that was mentioned was the loot quality, and this is something that I kind of had questions about, so this kind of explained it to me. So what they said was, if you play on challenging, enemies shouldn't drop purple loot for you. Yes, the item containers might still drop purple like weapons or gear, but overall, challenging missions, the enemies when you kill them, like the boss or like the yellows, whatever, they shouldn't drop purples for you. And for me, this happens a lot, and I was kind of like wondering about that. So again, this is just another issue in the game that will be fixed in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for the state of game. Unfortunately, we don't really know when the majority of these issues are going to be fixed. It can be in the next maintenance, it can be in an update soon. We're not really sure the specific date, but this is pretty much everything that they do know about and everything that's kind of wrong. At least like the majority of the things that are wrong with the game right now in Warlords of New York. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. But if you guys did enjoy this video or find it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.